And we have some new reporting on exactly where they might be headed. And for that, we turn to Chris Strohm. He is Bloomberg Justice Department reporter. Chris, thanks for being with us. So you have a report on the Bloomberg right now. What do we know?
So what we're reporting is that there are now prosecutors and FBI agents within the Justice Department who see sufficient evidence to bring charges against Trump for obstruction of justice while they're investigating the other charges. And they're looking at when to make a decision.
Well, now, what decision would they make? We're not talking necessarily about the Attorney General, right? Is this a decision what to recommend?
Yeah, so what we're doing is we're getting a glimpse at how the sausage is made. So you have the investigators, you have the team of investigators who there are prosecutors on that team who believe that there's sufficient evidence to charge Trump with obstruction of justice. They're going to be working with their supervisors, working all the way up the chain to the Deputy Attorney General to basically put together a prosecution memorandum that will lay out the pros and cons of bringing charges, what might be some of the litigation risks, the things that they need to take into account, and all of that will be presented to Attorney General Garland to make the final decision.
Chris, do we have any sense whether the Justice Department, and ultimately will be, of course, Merrick Garland, would be willing to bring an indictment simply on obstruction of justice charges? Because, I mean, that's a serious offense. At the same time, a former president of the United States, boy, a lot of people would say that's it.
So right now, Justice Department officials are not looking at just bringing an obstruction charge alone. They have other charges that they're looking at, both in the documents investigation and the January 6th investigation. What they're going to do is they're going to step back and look at all the evidence that they have and make those decisions most likely after the holidays. And if they cannot get the other charges, then it's possible that they just go forward with an obstruction charge. But at this point, they're not looking at just an obstruction charge alone.
But by after the holidays, you mean after the first of the year? Is that what you think? Best guess?
Yeah. Best guess is that in January, they're going to start to come together on putting together their recommendations, assessing all their evidence, and going up to the Attorney General.
This is terrific reporting, and you're doing exactly what we really hope great reporters will do. At the same time, I'm sure you can understand why President Trump and people around him might say, look, this is another example of why this is political, because it's being leaked at this stage, as you say, as the sausage is being made.
Sure. You know, obviously not going to discuss any of our sources, but this is what we are hearing from people who are familiar with what's going on.
Yeah, and I'm not questioning the validity of reporting at all. I'm just saying you can see how it plays into the political point, potentially, that President Trump has already raised.
Yeah, absolutely. There's no getting around that this is going to be an extremely contentious and political situation, regardless of what the Justice Department does. If they make a decision to not bring any charges, they're going to come under immense political criticism. So it's a no-win situation for them.
Chris, thanks so much. That's Chris Strohm, Bloomberg Justice Department reporter.